gentlemen here are such great yogis, and we're joined now by Jen, the instructor here at Power Train Yoga. You're going to teach me a couple of poses. What are we going to start with?
We'll do a couple balance poses. So we'll step back into crescent lunge, flow into an easy twist, and then finish with tree.
Okay, do you realize that I'm kind of a yoga for dummies?
We'll do a beginner sequence.
Okay, let's get started.
Okay, so come to the front of the mat and just find the balance in both of your feet. Stand up nice and tall. And
standing up tall.
Root down into your right foot, lift the left knee up. Find that balance, gaze at yourself in the mirror, and then bend that standing leg and slowly step yourself back, stepping the right foot back, and then inhale, lift the arms up. This is called crescent lunge. Reaching the heart, lifting that right quadricep up and back, look up, really nice. Lift and straighten the elbows, and then lift and look toward the left side of the room, coming into a little twist, open arm twist, and press into an imaginary wall. Lift the heart.
And there we go. In just a minute, I found balance and strength, and this is so nice. I got to talk to some of the people in the class who have maybe not done yoga for too long. You have only been doing yoga for about 2 years. What made you get hooked on it?
Definitely the connection that I started having within myself. It's definitely a grounding experience when you start doing it for a while. So it connects you with your inner being, and it's just a really great exercise as well.
And you feel at peace. We're gonna do another pose because we're not done making a fool of myself. I'm gonna do one more pose with our instructor, Jen, over here. And this one, I tried a little bit before, so I'm hoping I can master it. Jen, we're gonna do, is it tree pose?
That's right.
Okay, we're gonna do tree pose, so you lead the way.
Okay. So this time you'll bring hands to the heart, root down through the right foot, lift the left leg up, bending the knee, and then open that knee and go ahead and place that foot on the inside of your leg. So it could be inner thigh or a calf, and then squeeze that right hip into the midline, lift the heart, and then maybe reach the hands up, offer it up, and look up, lift the heart, and then slowly bring it down.
Yes, a fun segment. You guys have been awesome, and you know what? I've got a lot more yoga to learn. This is only my second time doing it, so I'm gonna learn with Jen. She's the real deal. But we'll send it back to you guys in the studio. But for now, here we go. Here's the tree pose.
Weather with Kim. Weekend.
Here we are. Let's see. It's 9:48. It's the end of.
The Lake County Sheriff's Department. The fact that he said that the officer was injured. He did not talk about a deceased officer, indicating that at least this stage of the game, the preliminary information that possibly the officer had been killed may not prove to be accurate. We had also checked with the Lake County Coroner's Office. They didn't have anyone headed to the coroner's office. They weren't planning on an intake. As far as the manhunt that is underway.
Hi, Celeste.
Hey, good morning, you guys. Yeah, check it out. We're actually on our way to a different story. And take a look behind me. You can see the police officers right there in the middle of the street. And we were stuck in some of this traffic right on 7th Avenue and Indian School. We were headed eastbound, and we were stuck back probably at least maybe a good mile. So there's plenty of traffic in all directions. Take a look down south on 7th Avenue, and you can see the traffic starting to build up a little bit there. The lights are working. It looks like headed to the west, working north and south. Those aren't working right now, and this isn't just the only traffic light out. The other traffic light where we're located nearby, about 15th Avenue and Thomas, that light is out as well. And so a lot of folks hopping off that freeway, trying to get where they're going this morning. Some of the schools have been canceled, so folks had to go back to the school, up those kids. It's been quite a busy morning just for folks in and around Central Phoenix, where the storm has really hit, but really all over the place, because, you know, folks who work in Central Phoenix may bring their children to school down here as well. So a lot to consider.
Sandra.
Mike, this is Ainsley. What do we make of all of this that's happening? No, that's okay. Cassandra's here too. What do we make of all of this? Because we were just sitting on the sofa not 30 minutes ago talking about what happened in Atlanta with an officer being killed.
Some patience, because it's going to take you even longer today than normally would. And I know, Andrew, you were talking about normally this is the end of rush hour. We don't really see an issue at this point. But right now, with folks maybe going out to get ice, dry ice, help keep them cool at their house, or maybe traveling to a friend's or family's house, something like that, to try to stay cool as well. In and around Central Phoenix, it's going to be tough to get around right now, guys.
Thank you very much. We know Phoenix police have been hard at work all morning. They've been along Indian School Road, as Celeste said, Camelback Thomas, directing traffic. And that's just a small portion of the area that's been affected.
And then the SRP and APS crews are out.
Yeah, they're working
trying
hard
to restore power, get the lines up and the poles up. Firefighters are out. When I was driving to work today, they're crisscrossing. Van Buren is coming in on 7.
They are working hard.
Everybody's out there today.
Try to keep everything in order.
Try to put everything back together again.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, but first, a happy birthday to everyone celebrating one today.
Pictures coming out of Chicago area. This is WFLD giving us these images of the choppers that have been deployed in the air. We're told canine units have been deployed on the ground, searching what appears to be a very populated suburban area, but also the images where the chopper just came out of also a very wooded area. Pat Brosnan, this looks like it's going to be quite a search now. We know that there are 3 outstanding suspects loose and on the ground.
Well, you know, it's interesting because I had the same takeaways as my husband, and one additional, which was very frightening to me, was that the presser stated that they were in a foot pursuit, that the officer
was targeted in some way. All of that is part of the approach that investigators will will incorporate as they search for these 3 individuals.
All right, let me break in for a moment, and I'm sorry if I'm going to repeat anything you just said, because at the time you were talking, I was also talking and trying to get some breaking information. And here's what I can tell you, that the Fox Lake police officer, radioed in that he was in pursuit of 3 suspects, 2 white males and 1 black male. Apparently this was a foot pursuit that he radioed in, and then communications with that Fox police officer were lost. When the communications went down, backup was dispatched, and when backup arrived, the backup officers found this officer injured from a gunshot wound. That is the very latest in terms of the facts on the ground. You can see the helicopters in the air now in this
homes that they could arrive at based on, say, 4 miles an hour running, half walking, you know, as opposed to traveling by a vehicle. I mean, a lot of this is based on the
help from my State Farm agent. I plan to retire.
Just don't expect Kanye to be addressing fellow Americans.
Bro, I don't understand it, bro.
CNN.
Sit down.
New York.
That's some great editing right there, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Apparently some important people really liked Kanye's speech about everything from grocery shopping to politics at the video.
And it wasn't just like the
who may be in the area and in their houses safe.
So a couple of things, Andrea. There's separate engines at work, and they're all very efficient.